Yesterday, I went home after the show, and then I came right back to Philadelphia because I went to the game last night. I was at the Phillies-Orioles game, and a home run derby broke out, but it was punctuated by two, not one, but two, from Kyle Schwarber last night. Hugh Douglas, we are now talking about a player that on August 4th, ended play on August 4th, has 40 home runs. We're talking about a guy now that is on pace to hit 58 home runs. If you look at the latest NL MVP odds, it is Shohei Ohtani, and then it is Kyle Schwarber. They are one, they are two. Pete Crow Armstrong is third. We're watching one of the great seasons in Phillies history. Since the All-Star break, he has double-digit home runs. He is dominating right now. Almost every night you feel like he's going to hit a home run. Being there last night, when he got up with the bases loaded when the Phillies broke the game open, he already had a home run, and everyone where I was sitting felt like he was going to hit another home run. It's becoming that. And as I watch him, I think, all the years I've been on WIP and just watching the Phillies, there's been a sense, Hugh, that what we witnessed with Ryan Howard from 06 to 09, right, his peak, punctuated, of course, the best of that was 06, right? He won the MVP at 58 home runs. It always felt like we would never see that again, right? That was the greatest power stretch, one of the greatest power stretches in baseball history, but certainly the greatest power stretch in Phillies history. And no one would ever do that again. Guys, it's happening again. That's what I'm watching right now. That's what we're watching right now. For me, as I watch Schwarber do what he's doing, this is Howard. This is Ryan Howard all over again. And I don't mean as an all-around everything. You could tell me his batting average isn't high as Pete Howard. That's fine. I mean as a power hitter. Home runs. Power at the plate. This is Ryan Howard all over again. Ryan Howard hit 205 home runs, including the postseason in that stretch. Schwarber's over 180 now in his 4 years, and he still has 2 months of the regular season and the postseason. He could catch Howard in terms of total home runs over 4 years, and he's on pace right now to hit 58. That's what Ryan Howard did in 2006. As I watch this, and right now he has more home runs through 112 games than Howard had in his 58 home run season. I mean, he is pacing to best Ryan Howard. As I watch this has reached peak Ryan Howard level for me. Hugh, where do you come down on what we're seeing from Schwarber? Because it feels like every night, or twice a night, this guy's hitting a home run right now.
Allow me to long talk for a minute, Joe, because this, to me, is I guess the way to say it is near and dear to my heart, because I remember when Ryan came up. As a matter of fact, Ryan was my neighbor when I came back to Philadelphia, and then I started my radio career. So I was there, and I remember Ryan Howard and how people talked about how he stayed down too long because of Jim Thome and everything like that. Kyle Schwarber is having a phenomenal season. On top of the fact that, he's doing what he's doing, he's also in a contract year. So every time that he hits a home run, the first thing that I think about is, man, the price of that brick then went up.
No question.
Like every time he goes out there and does what he does, you're going to have to pay this man more money. Either it's the Phillies or it's going to be somebody else. And he knows that. He is having a phenomenal season. He has thrust himself into the MVP conversation. No question about that. But when I think of Ryan Howard, man, I think of a kid that came up that was probably down there in the minors way too long.
Yeah, lit up a year or two, for sure.
And I think about the potential that he would have had if Thome, if they had moved on a little earlier. And then I just think about his contribution and his impact that he had on this team when he did come up in a short period of time.
But I could argue Schwarber's had the same thing.
No,
right?
I mean, I hear it, but the teams that Ryan was on went to 2 World Series and won one.
Yep.
And it was like when he came up, you had Jimmy, you have Chase, you had Shane Victorino.
You're purposely not saying Cole Hamels?
No, Cole Hamels. Right. Shout out to Cole Hamels. Love for Cole Hamels. But those guys, that was a special time, man. And they broke through. I will remember vividly the night that they won. It was cold and the crying that people were doing. So for me, Kyle's having a phenomenal year, but I was there when all of that happened. So for me, no, it's the big piece.
Yeah, so I'm not saying he's better than Ryan Howard. I
know what you're saying.
This has reached Howard level for me. Watching him, being in the park last night, there was an anticipation when Schwarber came to the plate for that Grand Slam at bat. He's going to hit another home run. And that's, when you go back to Howard's 58 home run season, it got to the point where you started to just expect home runs. And in baseball, you never expect home runs. Like, even if a guy hits a lot, it's hard to hit a home run, right? Like, even guys like the Aaron Judges, the Mark McGuires, they only hit 50, 60, 70 at their peak, right? And the Barry Bonds. And that's their best, and that's over 600 at-bats, right? So even if you're watching one of those guys, it only happens every 10 or 11 at-bats, even the best. Schwarber's hitting like that right now. Again, I know 58 home runs, Howard, is like the peak in everyone's mind. And so there's some nostalgia there. He was a homegrown kid. They did win the World Series with him. But on August 4th of 2006, Ryan Howard had 39 home runs. Schwarber has 40. There is a real chance that Kyle Schwarber breaks Ryan Howard's home run record this year.
No, I get that.
He could hit 60 home runs.
No, I get that.
It's amazing.
I get that, and I'm not taking anything for what Kyle Schwarber is doing. It's just that for me, I have a little bit more history with Ryan.
Sure, and I think there's nostalgia to him.
Yeah, and that's kind of where I'm at with it, and that's no disrespect to what Kyle is doing, because I think it's phenomenal. But when I look at, like, to know Ryan intimately like I do, and to see that and to see him come up and become the star, he went from a guy that, moving into the building, him and his son was together, and he just came up to being the guy that got all that bread and became the big piece. So, for lack of a better way of saying it, I know Ryan Howard's origin story. You know what I mean? Kyle Schwarber came here from another team, had already won one, and has become a phenomenal piece for the Phillies. But for me, Ryan Howard and his origin story, that kind of sticks with me.
Yeah, I get it. For me as a player, right, like performance-wise, not the story, just for performance-wise, when I watch the games, it's becoming Howard. It's becoming peak Howard. This is 06 Howard. If I had to guess right now, I would guess Schwarber's going to reach the mark that Howard had. I think he's going to get to 58 home runs.
Yeah, he's hot. He's hot. And listen, one of the biggest motivators on the planet is money.
He has 2 months to hit 18 home runs.
Yeah.
We've seen this guy hit 10, 12, 11, in a month like that. I think he's going to get there, and it would not surprise me at all if he reaches 60 home runs. That's how locked in he is against lefties, against righties. 215-592-9494 has this version of Schwarber. Schwarber reached peak Ryan Howard level for you, and you could take that for whatever you want it to be. Hugh's thinking about how he felt about the player and all that. For me, it's like when I watch him get up to the plate, I'm expecting home runs now. And very rarely in baseball history, including Phillies history, do you expect home runs every time a guy gets to the plate. It's like a handful of people ever you can think about that. Schwarber's in that mix now. Let's hear from Schwarber last night. He was reacting here. Ryan Howard was on Phillies on Deck with some supportive comments about Schwarber, about the season he's having. Let's hear Schwarber reacting to Howard supporting him as he goes for a special Philly season.
Yeah, it means a lot. I coming up in 2015, I caught a game against the Phillies, and I swear he would have hit 4 home runs if the wind wasn't blowing in, and I think he hit one that day. And I was just in a blender back there thinking, how do I get this guy out? But to hear it from him, right? It means a lot. I'm not trying to go out there and think about records or anything like that. I'm more just trying to go out on a daily basis and, like I say, try to help these guys win. That if that happens, it's great. If it doesn't, it's great. I think at the end of the day, we all heard over kind of the weekend, that how special that 08 team is. That's a thing that we all strive to be. We all want to get to that position, and we want to be in that position that they had. And you get remembered for a long time. You're going to be remembered here for forever. So those are things that as a player, that's what you dream of. But I appreciate everything he does, and I love him as a player. And as he still comes around, you get to talk to him. It's so much fun just to pick the brains of all these guys who have done it at such a high level and hear what they have to say, and you try to incorporate that into your game.
So a couple things struck me there. One, I love that he's still talking about winning, right? That they won in 08, and that's how he wants to be remembered here. They want to achieve what Ryan's team did. The other thing that struck me is how long Schwarber's been in the big leagues. In that clip, he's talking about playing against Howard. And do you hear when he said he was in a blender back there trying to get him out? That's when Schwarber was a catcher.
Yeah.
Schwarber was catching as a young player when Howard was still playing. Because I was like, what does he mean trying to get him out? You're in the outfield. And then I was like, no, he's a catcher then. 215-592-9494. Kyle, back in the studio. Where do you come down? Schwarber, 2 homers last night. He has now put himself legitimately in the MVP conversation, and he's on pace at 58 home runs.
Yeah, so I, unlike Hugh Douglas, have no issue embracing Kyle Schwarber and what he means to this team right now. A clear anti-Kyle Schwarber agenda.
Yesterday with the Hamilton
anti-Schwarber.
A fake apology this morning, which was ridiculous.
I think I did a great job of framing where I am with my nostalgia.
No, you basically said Ryan Howard was your neighbor. You like him better.
You because a personal agenda here.
You weren't compelled by the origin story that I told.
No,
compelled's a strong word.
Yeah, I mean,
well, I tell you, you guys are insufferable.
Well, so I don't have a neighborly relationship with either guy. I'm just a fan of the Phillies. And what I remember about being a fan of Ryan Howard is that every single time the guy got up to a plate, I'm like, this dude could put one in the seats.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about Kyle Schwarber right now. I mean, you were at the ballpark last night chanting MVP when Kyle Schwarber's up at the plate.
Cool.
That's how the city feels about Schwarber right now. That's how people felt about Ryan Howard. Like, he was so dangerous, such a force at the plate. Now, Kyle Schwarber still has to finish the season and catch up to what Ryan Howard actually ended up doing in that 06 season, like at his peak. And that was awesome. And, of course, Ryan Howard did win the ring in 2008. But, like, if the Phillies don't win a World Series with Kyle Schwarber, that's not Kyle Schwarber's fault. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say, like, well, Kyle Schwarber couldn't do what Ryan Howard did. No, like, this Phillies team couldn't do what that Phillies team was able to accomplish. So, like, I don't hold that against Kyle Schwarber, just like I don't put it solely on Ryan Howard. Like, Ryan Howard was a part of a great team. The driving force of it, yeah, one of them, but, like, a part of a great team. So it's not going to be up to Kyle Schwarber whether or not he wins the ring or not. I'm just thinking of how I feel when those two guys came to the plate, and I get the same exact vibes that I did with Ryan Howard right now.
The big piece. That's all I got to say. The big piece. He was named the big piece.
Schwarber's kind of a big piece
for a reason.
Yeah, but performance-wise, it's even. I mean, I think it's sneaking up on people because for years, it just was like, oh, well, no one will ever do what Howard is doing. Well, it's happening. I mean, it's literally happening. I know, and Kyle said it, he has to finish now. He's got to finish the last 2 months and the postseason. But he is, 24 home runs away from tying Howard for the most home runs in a 4-year stretch in the history of the franchise, including the playoffs. You guys don't think Kyle Schwarber's got 24 more home runs in that bat through October? It wouldn't surprise me at all. I mean, he all he does is hit home runs. I think...
I can see it.
I was about to say, what did Ryan Howard do in that 4-year stretch? I'm talking about
205 total home runs.
I'm saying, but how many World Series appearances?
2.
The big piece.
Yeah. Well, right now Schwarber's at 1.
But that's a team thing, though,
right? That is
Douglas.
a team thing.
But that he's called the big piece.
Right. But when I say Aaron Judge and Mark McGwire, you're great home run hitters. Neither won anything. Well, McGwire won when he was young, but Judge has won nothing.
Howard broke through. Big piece.
No, I know.
This is arguing in bad faith. You can't just repeat big piece over and over again.
Because big piece is significant.
So is Schwarber.
The big piece is the piece that helped us get over the hump and helped us get our first World Series.
What do you think Kyle Schwarber is to this team?
The story is still his origin story is still being written.
Yeah, but this Phillies group was losers till he arrived. I mean, that's the truth, right? They had Wheeler and Harper, and they couldn't get over 500. I'm not trying to say. I'm not trying to tell everyone out there that that Schwarber should be above Howard. I know Mount Rushmore week's going on the afternoon show. I understand the Howard as nostalgia here, right? He's a homegrown kid. What's that?
I didn't participate.
You didn't submit your Mount Rushmore?
Spike put pressure on
Hugh, come on. He sent 2 emails.
He did, and he sent the second one.
But that was more of a friendly reminder.
Guy.
And he was like, he said something to the effect that this needs to be done today.
That's not what was the email.
He said, if you don't get it done today.
Today is the last day to submit to have your vote count. Thank you to everyone who has done already. Go Birds. That was his email.
Hugh has an issue with authority. I see what
he's not authority. He's our coworker.
It's the aggressive tone.
Hugh definitely
Hold on.
didn't
Let me read this again. Today is the last day to submit to have your vote count. Thank you to everyone who has done already. Go Birds.
That was aggressive.
That's not aggressive.
That was a little aggressive.
That's aggressive.
And what happened, I meant to do it, but I had other stuff, and I didn't submit it.
Oh, you were busy.
I apologize.
You were too busy to write some names.
Here's 2 apologies in the first second.
But here's the thing. You can't talk. Don't talk to me like that. I have an inherent problem with that.
Don't say thank you.
Today is the last day to submit to have your vote count. Thank you to everyone who has done already.
The way that I heard it is like you need to submit this today, or we're gonna have a problem.
I think this is a you issue. He ended it with "Go Birds."
I didn't see it. I didn't read it that way.
I think you wrongly felt threatened by what was.
I did. I felt
was
a little
pleasant
Spike's
message.
a bully. Spike's a little bit of a bully, and it had bully vibes. I listened to the show.
I think we might I will have to ask him his permission. I already read it on the air. We might have to screenshot his email and ask the audience if there's bully vibes.
It was bully vibes. It's the messenger.
Today is the last day to submit to have your vote count.
It was the messenger.
Thank you to everyone who has done already.
My story.
Go Birds.
Stick it to it.
Yeah, your story is.
I felt
crazy.
because like yesterday when I heard him talking about, it, I was like, damn. It's too late to submit.
Yeah, that's on you. All right, 215-592-9494. Has Kyle Schwarber reached peak Ryan Howard level for you? And when I say it, I mean as a player. In the box, watching him hit, and just expecting home runs. I mean, this guy's on pace for 58 home runs, and he has a real shot to catch Howard and how many home runs he hit from